Okay guys, so today I'm going to be going over the quite deep topic of using loose substrates with your reptiles. So let's get straight into the video. Many people believe that keeping reptiles with loose substrates, particularly leopard geckos and bearded dragons, will cause impaction. This is where the animal ingests the substrate and a blockage forms as they can't pass it from the gut. And so much so they can't digest properly and they eventually die. However, this is just completely wrong. Keeping a reptile on a loose substrate can cause impaction, but that doesn't necessarily mean that keeping them on a loose substrate will cause impaction. In the wild, substrates consist of many different particles. Bits of gravel, sand, soil, leaves, twigs, and depending on where they are in the world, a load of other things. Reptiles and every other non-cave dwelling species of animal also have access to light in the form of UVB and heat. They have access to a multitude of food items, be that hundreds of different species of insect or even thousands of different species of plant. And they can thermoregulate by moving around, and they experience a day-night pattern as well as experiencing all of the different seasons. They can perform whatever actions they need to in order to survive and ensure that they're in the best of health. In captivity, however, we often provide a single grain substrate like sand, provide heat with seriously underpowered heat mats, or often in the case of reptiles like the crested gecko you're seeing on screen right now, with no heat at all. And honestly, most of the time, people don't use any lighting, especially not the correct UVB lighting. We then go to expect our animals to thrive like the wild counterparts. Instead, they ingest the substrate and die. People blame the substrate, and that is about as far as it goes. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. If you provide your animal with the correct heat and lighting, the correct and varied diet that they get in the wild, and use an organic mixed substrate, the organic mixed substrate I use is Arcadia Earth Mix for my tropical species, which is just the crested gecko at the moment, and for drier species I use Arcadia Earth Mix Arid. But if you use an organic mixed substrate, then you're letting them live a far more natural life than you would be otherwise. Coupled with the correct supplementation, which at this stage of the game means using non-synthetics, i.e. no synthetic vitamin D3 and vitamin A, then consumption of substrates can actually be a very beneficial process, and it's completely natural because it would happen in the wild. So, will using a loose substrate cause impaction? Yes and no. I know that this may have came across as a bit of a rant today, and that's because in part it is. If you don't keep your animals in the way I've said, then I'm not having a go at you. If you can argue for your methods and your animals are thriving and they're both mentally and physically enriched with the way you're keeping them, then great, that's your method and that's what works for you. However, the latest information all points towards trying to keep reptiles in the most natural way that you can. Well, to be honest, just animals in the most natural way that you can. So if people are going to do that and it's working for them, don't go and attack them for it because they're doing what's right. If you've got something out of your experience that works, then that's just you. So guys, I do hope that you did enjoy today's video. I know it's a very controversial topic, but it's something that does need addressing far more often. So I just thought I'd jump straight into it, head first like. So I do hope that if you keep your animals in a different way, then you do get some more understanding of this. And even if you don't want to keep them this way and the way you're doing it works, then fine. But I do hope that you won't go telling our community of wild sort of keepers that this is the wrong way to do it. It's just not the way that we're all going to move forward in the hobby. So let's just try and keep it a more level playing field, I'm trying to say. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy the video and that you did learn something from it. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.